Comic Menu Podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books. RealComicBooks.com. Good evening, gentlemen and ladies, or I should say, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the ladies the respect they deserve. Here we are again. You know, it feels like Groundhog's Day. Weren't we just here? I don't know what the hell's going on this week. I don't know. Maybe because the older you get, the more time just literally flies by. You have a choice. Yeah, you have a choice to either watch Matlock, Golden Girls, or any show from the stupid 80s. But instead you're here and you want to watch this fantastic face and my brethren. That being said, let's bring in these guys. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the best color man in the business, my man, my little Habibi. There he is. Hello,
what's up, brother?
Good, man. Doing good. Now we got for the first time of the year. Here we go. Yes, Mr. Fable.
There he is.
Station, my man.
Station. What's going on, everybody?
All right. And then we have the man, my brother from another color. That's right. We got ourselves Ish.
Oh, no, he has no audio again.
No, he has no audio.
No
hello.
audio.
No audio. You're on mute, my brother.
So
there we go.
Why would people be watching shows from the 80s? But speaking of shows from the 80s, they are rebooting The Greatest American Hero. And
no.
Yeah, he'll return
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. For real. Look, it was happening to me. Believe it or not, I'm walking. I'm here for it. I'm 100%
reappearance in Avengers Doomsday.
That character's gonna come out on.
What up, Peter?
You know, I just had a vision of like the Doomsday trailers they've been rolling out. I just saw the Wakanda one today actually, and I could just see all of a sudden that that actor comes out with that stupid outfit. And it's like no return to
He
Doomsday.
crashes into something when he goes to land.
Yeah, that's the running joke, though. That's
Right.
like the memes, right? The memes are going right now, like such and such will reappear in
Oh,
Avengers
return.
Doomsday, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. And I saw one for the Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the
that's,
original Golden Odie.
Oh, yep. Here every Tuesday. Thank
Always
you guys.
appreciate you guys. Y'all are awesome.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome.
And yeah, you know what? We could really easily talk about this. So in case you guys haven't seen, they dropped the news. They dropped a new trailer for Doomsday. I gotta admit, I kind of like what they're doing with these little teasers. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool, And if
comments anymore.
The newest one has has Suri in it, and I mean, I don't want to spoil the trailer, but go watch the latest. Just type in Wakanda Doomsday trailer, and you'll see.
Spoil the trailer. It's
Yeah,
got the thing in it.
Spoil it.
It's got Shuri from Wakanda. It's got the thing. He's like Ben Grimm, Yancey Street. You can't spoil a trailer.
I know, but it kind of sucks. Let him.
And if you can, I just did.
You just did, you son of a bitch. Oh my god. Anyways, I am kind of curious if they are going to do Greatest American. Is it Greatest American Hero? Is that
they're rebooting it. He's not going to be in Avengers, but they're rebooting
it would be interesting if they actually kept the same green screen. I'm hitting it all flying like this, the exact same way. That would be fucking funny. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're going to talk about a lot of things. So speaking of which, talking about, to play off Dan's joke and take it on a serious note, right? Dan, joking about the Greatest American Hero being a Doomsday. What about what DC just pulled off? And what a slap in the face, no offense to Donnie Cates, who swerved us all with what was that stupid book, Crossover, where he made us think like Superman was going to appear or what have you in the DCKO boss battle. Have y'all seen that?
What is that all about?
Superman versus Homelander. Like DC really, they're not playing. They're going into this year, they're trying to be as hot as they were ending last year and coming into last year, actually, with the Absolute. But we're talking, they got this DC boss battle. They got Wonder Woman versus Red Sonja. They got Vampirella in there. They have the Bear from Boom Studios, Beneath the Trees Where No One Sees. They have Sub-Zero in there. They have Homelander in there. They have Sabrina the Teenage Witch versus Zatanna. Like, how they pull this off? What a mega crossover, bringing characters from. They have Annabelle from The Conjuring.
What?
Yo, they're not. This DCKO boss battle is not playing.
Oh, so that's right, because it's a Warner Brothers. That's right, it's a Warner Brothers.
Don't they have
IP, right?
Poppy from Poppy's Playtime?
I'm not sure, but they definitely have Superman versus Homelander. Which, how many people have been taught? Just one of the. It's like, can Superman beat Invincible? Can Superman beat Homelander?
I'm excited for the Lex Luthor versus Gargamel from the Smurfs. That's going to be interesting.
It's Lex Luthor versus
You're an idiot.
I think he fights the bear from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
That's wild.
The fact that you said Gargamel in 2026 is fucking hilarious.
Hey, we're talking about the Greatest American Hero. Why not?
Right. It doesn't. None of that surprised me.
I'm just really impressed with DC right now, because DC hasn't been hot in a very long time.
Oh, they're on Fuego, man.
And they followed up Absolute with KO, which is fire. Like fire. And then they're coming into this year with a surprise crossover, bringing characters from multiple different companies into their books. It's crazy.
Yeah, the whole DCKO event, you kind of it feels like one of those X-Men like Extinction Saga, Extinction Agenda, where you have to get all the different books to kind of keep apprised of what's going on. But where the X-Men, and I don't mean to shit on the X-Men, where maybe some of the books in that run was hit or miss. I have yet to read a DC. I mean, I just read the Harley Zatanna book. It was great. I mean, I have yet to read.
The fights are really good.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good. I mean, it's
but
entertaining.
Extinction Agenda was not a hit or miss. It was just pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. Some of it was hit or miss.
Extinction Agenda?
Yeah, it was okay.
It was pretty dope.
Why do you think? Are these all new writers? It's just new blood coming in, or what do you think is turning DC around?
Well, they gave the reins to Absolute to Chip Zdarsky, who's generally brilliant. I mean, he can be hit or miss, but most cases he's hit, right? Like his actual run on Batman wasn't great. His run on Daredevil was, you know what I mean? But he's a brilliant mind, and he's the brainchild behind the Absolute universe. He's responsible for bringing the writers in, and he brought in some great writers, right? Dennis Camp, L. Ewing, Jason Aaron, you know what I mean? And they have a 5-year plan. And listen, the last thing Chip Zdarsky touched was Avengers Twilight. And talk about a runaway hit, right? Like really great. Was great. Really great. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's coming off of that, going into Absolute, and Absolute has been carrying DC. It's obviously Absolute's DC's best selling title of 2025 at the end of 2024, going into 2025. But he's carrying DC single-handedly. And I don't know what caused KO to be so great. It just is really great, and it's just a copy of any. It's Mortal Kombat, right? It's you know.
Which fun fact? You mentioned Chip Zdarsky. I learned a week ago that's not even his real name.
Okay.
Well, okay. Way to bring the show.
Follow that up, or are you just going to pause?
Way to bring the.
I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? I mean, I didn't know that.
What's his real name? We want you to say his real name. Like
they didn't say it on the show I was watching. I had to just Google it just to bring it up. But his actual name is Stephen Murray.
Okay. Well, what a way to break the show down. Hey, listen. Now that
who knew?
I am curious though. Chef brought up Chef did bring up a point. He's saying Homelander over Superman all day, right?
Come on.
Stop.
Hold on. Well, I don't know, because Chef likes to stir the pot a little bit.
He did.
But hold on.
Of shit.
Hold on. Is it would some people say Homelander because he gives no F's, where Superman has that moral compass? And Homelander has no problem killing 40 people on a road just to get Superman's attention. And I mean, you got to give it to him. He does.
Can we stop?
Okay, go ahead. I'm kind of curious.
No, can we just stop the conversation?
Homelander, why are we having the conversation? Superman or Omni-Man? Who?
Why are we having the conversation?
Goku.
Really? Goku?
Every writer is going to write their character as better. So it comes down to one thing. Feats. You can actually only compare the strength and the who's betterism of each character based upon the feats. And Superman's feats in comparison to Omni-Man or in comparison to Homelander.
Well,
it's just
what
not
do you mean feats? Like Rob Liefeld's feats? Like what do you mean feats?
Feats.
Oh, like their accomplishments.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only bar you have for comparison.
What do you think? What do you think, Dan? What do you think?
My opinion.
Do you think Superman?
Yeah, all day. All day.
You too, Fable?
I don't think Homelander has the right mentality and temperament to win a battle of that magnitude.
I mean, I think you have a point with Superman's morality going into play. I also think I don't know much about Homelander, to be honest with you. I don't know if he has weaknesses, but we all know Superman's weakness. So it's either people or parts of his planet. So I don't know. But I think Homelander definitely has an edge with his attitude for sure.
I mean, that's what I'm going on, because Superman does have that moral compass that gets in the way. It just does, where Homelander will take a whole plane down of people because
I didn't see a Homelander one sell for $15 million recently.
Homelander's also emo.
Homelander is actually emo. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But Superman
Really
also
emo.
has a wealth of experience, right? Like he's fought them
and the
all.
feats to back it up.
Yeah, he's fought them all, and he's done everything. He's the oldest character, right? He's like the first superhero. So
Wait.
yeah.
So this guy, no offense to Chef, he
Oh,
says
that's Chef.
Homelander is OP, as if Superman isn't OP.
First, don't listen to Chef for one. Chef just means Chef.
As if Superman isn't OP. He's the definition of OP. He's actually, in comic book terms, where you get the word OP. It's the first superhero it applied to.
Right. I agree with that.
So one of the other things I want to talk about, let's get into it let's just get into it. Because it's going to take a good crux of the conversation. So as you all know, the big hype of Absolute Batman, right? Everything's absolute now. Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Flash, Absolute Green Lantern. I don't know. Let's see who else. Absolute fucking Gargamel.
I think Absolute Catwoman's coming out this year. Absolute Catwoman.
Yeah. Don't they have an Absolute Bane that's coming out as well, or is out? I mean, it's my first.
Bane is a brain in a jar right now.
My question to you guys, and this is a serious question. Are we gonna be absolute out, if that makes anything? Are we gonna be like, all right, already? Okay, all right, because some things are just not going to stick. You're saying the Absolute Flash is not a good story, so that's probably it is what it is. But are they getting a little kooky with this Absolute? Because I mean, I'm assuming people are not going to be slabbing an Absolute #1 of each one of those titles, right? And they're not going to reach the Absolute Batman tier of price.
Which ones?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Getting there.
Well, Wonder Woman is getting there. Superman will probably get there.
Okay. All right. All of them? Bane, Flash,
no,
Manhunter.
What you're talking about is a 5-year plan, right? So as comic books, as history has shown us when it comes to comic books, right? You go 100 issues, you're going to wax and you're going to wane. Right. And then you have people who are going to jump on the bandwagon. So you're going to have issues that exceed 100,000+ in sales. You know what I mean? Like you're just going to have that. Of course, supply may not meet demand. Like you see with Absolute Batman #1, even though there's 350,000 copies, there is not enough supply of that to meet the demand, period, point in blank. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to do what comics do, right? There are going to be some duds. There's going to be some duds in the Absolute Batman run, right? Listen. Jonathan Hickman didn't finish House of X. There is no telling. I don't see why not, but there's no telling that Chip Zdarsky might just get tired 3 years in and let other writers start filling in, and they may not do as well. So yeah, there's gonna be some misses. I mean, Flash is a big miss in my opinion, but that's my opinion.
Is this? Because people are like, oh, this Absolute Batman is a flash in the pan. Give it a year, and you're going to be able to pick it up for $50. 9.8 or something like that.
They have a 5-year plan. He announced that they were going to go 5 years, and halfway through, they were going to have a major crossover with DC. But Chip Zdarsky's first announcement was 5-year plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible a year or two from now these things sort of cool off a little bit, but I mean, the hype is there. The speculators are out in full force for these books. They want them. I mean, I was talking to Ish yesterday, and
now Catwoman Peter has an Absolute. I don't know if it's a one shot, but in March, Catwoman is coming. Absolute Catwoman is coming.
Yeah, I mean, but the interesting thing here is I'm wondering if the run is if they keep creating Absolute Batman, if it's going to work against the #1. Like I could see Ultimate Spider-Man that's due to wrap up with this last issue, eventually surpassing what Absolute Batman #1 is going for right now. I could see Ultimate Spider-Man exceeding Absolute Batman 1 in the #1 race long term. because
I don't have a fair argument for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have any real facts to back it up. I just say, we've seen there's a lot of buzz around that Ultimate book. They're ending it, I think, prematurely. It's kind of like going out on top, where I feel like Absolute Batman, the length of time that it runs, it's really on fire right now. And Scott Snyder is just an idea factory. I mean, he's amazing, but it could, as the runway gets longer and longer, could kind of cool off the whole run. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, but
they're actually building to a Justice League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And Absolute Justice League.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about that book, though, is it's ascendancy. It's the price of it is astronomical. I mean, it just keeps going. Every time I look at it, it's going up and up and up. And I don't see the same thing for DC All In #1, which is the true first appearance of all these
catching up.
It's going to catch up.
You think it'll surpass it? Because
it's already catching up. It'll surpass it.
I think so. I think if you're that nuts about Absolute Batman, you're gonna people are gonna start making that argument, and it's gonna catch up.
And especially because it has, I don't know about print run, because I always tell people print run versus what is circulated are two different numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely less in circulation
of the All In.
Yeah, for sure. It was
when they slab it. Have you seen a slab of it? Do they slab it with the Absolute characters, or they slab it with the other characters in the front?
They slab it with the other characters in the front. However, I know somebody personally who had 100 signed by Chip Zdarsky on the Absolute side. And he had CGC slab that side, at that side face forward.
That's pretty cool.
CGC generally slabs the regular DC side face forward.
Let me ask you guys: is this going to go up there as one of the biggest modern day keys?
Absolutely.
What do you mean, like biggest? Like, what do you mean, like Ultimate Fallout 4 level?
Like 21st century.
Yeah, UF4, NYX.
21st century keys. It will.
Yeah.
Yep. 21st century mainstream keys. It actually is going to be DC's biggest 21st century key, because their biggest 21st century key should be Damian Wayne, right? Like he's the biggest character that dropped in the 21st century from DC. There's not a bigger character from DC Comics that dropped than Damian Wayne. And look how long it took that book. Almost 20 years to even achieve some sort of aftermarket recognition.
And
this will be DC's currently. Me neither. Yeah. This will be DC's biggest 21st century key book.
Now let me ask you this, because you said it. How many copies of Absolute Batman were printed?
At least 350,000 across all copies.
Okay. So normally that's a lot of books, right? But because you're saying the hype spread like wildfire, there's not enough now for the people who actually want this.
It's not even a hype. Like let's look at this. And Dan and I talked about this yesterday. Just give me a minute. So think about this, right? Because a lot of people say, "Oh no," and it's like 350,000 copies, and it's FOMO. And first of all, there's nothing wrong with FOMO. You and I did a whole show on that. But let's put FOMO aside first, because FOMO isn't the principle behind the demand for the book, right? You have to assume, Dan and I talked about this. I'm going to drop the number. Let's say 800,000 people read Batman, right? 800,000 people just read Batman, right? So let's say they were interested because the average person, didn't know Absolute Batman was going to be, average comic collector didn't know Absolute Batman was going to be dope like that. They just didn't know, right? Mm-hmm. So let's rule them out, because they didn't know, and it took a little while. It took like till issue 4 for it to really catch on, right? Which is why issue 4 is so fucking scarce, right? So let's say 800,000 read Batman. Let's say half of them bought Absolute Batman #1, right? Half, 400,000, 350,000 copies in print, 400,000. We know 350,000 got circulated, right? So let's say the majority of them were people who read Batman, right? And then let's add in FOMO. After the fact, not before the fact. People didn't FOMO this book before the fact, right? We didn't know. We just thought it was a copy of the Ultimates, DC's copy to the Ultimates. We actually didn't know that it was going to be what it was. Same with Wonder Woman. Took a little bit of time. Same with Superman. Took a little bit of time, right? So then all the FOMO people who now want it, all the people who are tearing off other covers to make more A's. It doesn't make any more in circulation. It just makes more A's, right? But there's still 350,000 in circulation, right? So you get the average Batman reader. There's your 350,000.
Yeah.
Then you get your FOMO collectors and retailers, and there's another 50 to 100,000. And let's say 80,000 people, because we all know every retailer can tell you the story that they have at least 10 people that come into their shop that have never read a comic book, but that are walking in to buy Absolute books, and they don't even care what print. They just want to read it, right? They just want to read it. So now you actually have a very real situation where there is not enough supply to meet the demand. And now you got everyone else. You got FOMO wave 2, right? Where everyone else who left it on the table that don't care about Batman, but just FOMOing the value of the book because they're in the collector's market or the retail market, now they're buying it. That's why this thing goes to 10th print. This is a true 10th print and not a money grab 10th print. If it was a money grab 10th print, the 7th print of #1 wouldn't be a $40 book.
I kind of wish when Caesar got up and walked out of the camera, he walked into Ish's camera. It would have been cool. Like, I'd be like,
that's what you're thinking about. But you know what, Ish? It makes. I get it. I get why. I get it now. I really do. I didn't really think much about that. So my question to you guys is, me being a key collector, should I have that in my arsenal?
I appreciate you, Chef. I appreciate that, man.
I would say yes, Caesar, for sure. You should have that book.
I should have that in my color. In my
You can buy a 9.8. You can buy a 9.8 now for like $300. I think 250, 300 slabbed.
And let's look at the potential, right? So DC caught lightning in a bottle, real lightning in a bottle. This isn't flash in a pan, right? Especially with a 5-year plan. There's no reason for DC to abandon this. They haven't sold as many books in one single period of time in the 21st century. Like Absolute is dominating DC sales. Period, point and blank. So there's no reason for them to abandon it. There should be toys. There should be animated cartoons. There should be all types of other media property coming from Absolute.
Ish, do you think the creative team factored into Absolute Batman's, kind of taking off the way it did? I mean, if it would have been like not Dragotta and Snyder and somebody else, it wouldn't have been. I mean, do you think that factors in at all to the value and the demand, or do you think it's just pure spec? Like, this is DC's 5-year.
Well, let's take Dragotta out, right? Because Dragotta wasn't really that dude until Absolute, right? Like
man. He was East to West. He was.
People weren't. He has a body of work, but people weren't screaming for.
But people weren't watching it. Yeah.
Just like they weren't screaming for Daniel Warren Johnson before Transformers, even though he threw a power bomb back.
I don't know if I agree with the whole.
I don't know if I agree with that one either. But
what were they? What were they screaming for? Name the book.
DWJ was already hot before he made.
Name the book.
Beta Ray Bill. People were on it. Wonder Woman.
The Beta Ray Bill series.
Yeah.
The limited series that just came out in 2023.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it. I'm a retailer. Like, stop it. Listen, do a power bomb right now. 1 through 7 goes for about $150.
Yeah.
I have tons of it because it didn't sell back in 2022 when it dropped.
All right, but you go on Felix, and that'll tell you a whole different story.
Transformers is what really brought him to a broader. How many people were buying Do a Power Bomb?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not a retailer, but I know that.
Think about that though.
I know people were definitely fans of him ever since Wonder Woman: Dead Earth. Dead Earth started getting a buzz.
Dead Earth is great. Dead Earth is great. But coming into 2024, he wasn't being ranked up there with the artists that your mainstream known. I'm not saying I'm not hating on Daniel Warren.
Murder Falcon. That's another one.
Who?
Murder Falcon.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Murder Falcon is?
No.
Yeah, DWJ, man. That's where he started getting hot. As far as the artist,
is Murder Falcon a hot book?
The retailer comic scene, but the art scene.
Is Murder Falcon a hot book? I'm just talking dollars and cents. Daniel Warren Johnson really started ringing bells. I'm talking mainstream wise, like everybody talking about Daniel Warren Johnson when he started.
Why was anybody even like? I understand Transformers relaunching in. I understand Transformers relaunching in itself through Image Comics on Skybound is a reason to buy the book anyway. Forget the artist; it doesn't even matter who was drawing.
Yeah, but his art was.
But the fact that DWJ was announced to draw that book, that definitely brought in all the people that were already behind that machine. His machine was
what I'm saying is the
crazy.
people that were behind DWJ. This isn't to knock him. It was a small percentage of people who are invested in comics for art. It wasn't like the majority were overwhelmingly screaming Daniel.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's what I'm getting.
I agree with you that.
Same with Dragoda.
Transformers opened him up to a broader market. I'm not debating that at all. But DWJ already had like steady uphill. Yeah.
Oh man. You know the thing is, look at Chef's such a troll. You know the funny thing is that Murder Falcon was my name in college, by the way. You know the thing is that I get.
Hold on, I just want to say something, and it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, right? People are now going back to buy all DWJ stuff. Like I followed him when he did the Caillou book. I have every issue of it, every ratio. I love it, right? Love it. Came out in 2021, right? Think it's just brutal and in a very Attack on Titans sort of way. But all of his stuff is ringing bells in the aftermarket now because of how recognizable he is from Transformers. He did the Wolverine cover. So now, like last year, do a power bomb, you could get it in dollar bins, 1 through 7.
I get
now
what
it's $150. Now today, it's $150 7-issue run.
But you're about a year late on that because his art has been selling for over $10,000 on any page he's done on any.
Transformers has been out for 2 years. Transformers.
Yeah, even before that.
So I'm not a year late.
I'm telling you, bro.
Transformers has been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's on issue 28 this week.
Right. Which he's not
a year late.
He hasn't been. But what I'm trying to say is like, if you check his OA, if you check the movement on his OA,
Sam will come on here in a bit. Sam buys his OA
for way longer than 2 years.
Sam buys his OA, but it's a very small market of people who buy OA.
Yeah, again, I don't know if I would. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I would say that Dragoda and Johnson were put on the map because of these most recent runs. They were picked for these runs because of their body of work and their experience.
I don't want to say put on a map. They're more recognizable to a broader audience because they're on.
It could be argued that so is Scott Snyder now. I mean, Absolute Batman opened up Scott Snyder to a whole group of people that never would have met him before because, to your point, now they're coming in to want to read that title.
Stop, though. That's not a fair comparison.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same
Snyder.
I mean, I could.
He doesn't write Daredevil. He doesn't write Twilight if he wasn't Scott Snyder before.
No, I'm not knocking him, but I'm saying like, I'm not trying to like refute what you're saying. I think you made some really good points. I'm simply saying these books they're popular now for any number of reasons, and of course, it's going to help the notoriety of these creators, right? But I don't think these creators, and I'm not trying to put the words in your mouth that you were saying this. They weren't like no names before they came to these books. I mean, they
were not.
One of my favorite reads.
But you can't put Scott Snyder as a writer on the same level as Nick Dragoda.
Yeah, fair. I was just trying to make
for Absolute Batman.
I get you there. Sure. I'm with you there. Yeah, I agree.
What makes Absolute Batman so great?
I'm sorry, Ish. I'll take it back. Come back. I'm sorry.
No. I'm here.
What makes Absolute Batman? What makes Absolute Batman so great? What would have happened for Absolute Batman to not be so great?
I want the other two to take the floor first because I think
what's the key ingredient that makes Absolute Batman so good? And second, to follow up to that, what would it make it not be so good? In other words, what is the key ingredient, if it was there or not? What is it?
I'll let Fable go.
I mean, for me personally, because I love Absolute Batman since the first issue, right? I wasn't the FOMO guy. I wasn't the guy who caught on later. I read the first issue and I knew that they had a hit on their hands immediately. And the thing that struck me about Absolute Batman was that it does the thing that only comic books can do. If that makes any sense, right? Because look at the shit that happens in Absolute Batman, right?
Now, bro. I already know.
Look at the stuff that happens in Absolute Batman. It's absolutely, utterly ridiculous, right? Like he's got a fucking monster truck that's hidden in. How do you even hide
his
damn
Batmobile? Is right? A monster truck.
It's a dump truck.
He's got a symbol on his chest that all of it. He just puts a stick in it and it becomes a fucking axe, right? Like. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's ridiculous in that way that only comic books can make cool. Because I remember my friends, they're serious readers. They're way more serious than me. And they were sitting there saying, this is the stupidest shit I've ever read. Like, they were saying stuff like that.
Dude is 6'7". How can you not tell?
Yeah, the muscles, the crazy body look and all of that stuff they were just making fun of. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, but isn't this the most comic book comic you've ever read in like a long time? Like this is super comic booky and I love it. I love that it's so damn wacky and off the wall and just crazy because what are they doing new here? They're not really doing, there's like 8 billion versions of Batman. There's like 7 different, 100 million Elseworlds Batmans. So many versions of this guy over the last 70, 80 years. But I just like it because it's off the wall. Now, Scott Snyder has done this before, right? Death Metal, Batman Who Laughs. Remember when he was hot and those books were going crazy, right? So I could understand when people say, oh, well, it'll cool off or whatever. But me personally, I just like how crazy it is. Plus, I'm not the guy who's read every Batman Elseworlds story either. So for me, it's fresh.
Immortal Batman is pretty good.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure.
I'll tell you, Fable, just sort of piggybacking on your comments.
Can you put Chef's comment up?
I love the fact that you said it's kind of like what comic books are sort of meant to be. The thing I like about what Snyder's doing with Absolute Batman is the traditional rogues gallery. They're all like childhood friends now. And then and spoiler alert, everybody, but we're how many issues in now? If you haven't read it by now, you might not read it. But even when Bane goes and attacks all of Bruce Wayne's friends, that is a traditional and now they're becoming the villain characters. They're not villains. They're still helping Bruce, right? Which is interesting.
One of them only halfway helps Bruce.
Fair, but it's not like they're going off the deep end. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like
half of them can.
Yeah, my gosh. But I like what Snyder's doing. Fable, I think you hit it. Your comment was perfect because it's exactly like it's a fresh look. I don't read comic books because I want reality. I want to escape to a fantasy. And this is checking all those boxes. I think you're right there.
Yeah, I think our medium is the only medium that can bring something like this to the table. You know what I mean? Like maybe animation, maybe a movie, whatever. But I just think this is doing what only comic books can do. And I think that's what's attracting older people and newer people to it.
So you would think? Yeah, go ahead, Ish, because I didn't hear yours. Go ahead.
So for me, and I have just two perspectives. One, aside from my personal opinion as a retailer, right? I have so many people coming into my shop who don't read comic books at all, looking for absolute titles. So that resonated with me. But I'll tell you how I was impacted, and it's kind of personal. I can't stand Batman. Sorry, Mr. Del Guzman, you know this. I've never been a fan of Batman comics. I've been asking forever for the first appearance of Batman's prep time power, like which issue I can find that in so I can get it graded and have millions of dollars from it. Like I'm just not a Batman fan. I'm also not a Superman fan, right? So when I read Absolute Batman #1, I'm like, okay, this is kind of dope. I could get into this. This is way different. I'm one of the people that's in the camp of, if you have millions of dollars, why don't you use your money to fix some shit? You know what I'm saying? So I love this concept of broken Batman. He doesn't have any loot. And I remember reading All In, and I remember what Darkseid did. He created a universe where the characters, the heroes, did not have the resources that they have in the DC universe. So this Batman is broken. It's not a millionaire. There's no butler. There's no Batcave with a bunch of tech. There's none of this. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I like it. I didn't think it was as dope as it would become, but I thought it was dope. I actually was more impressed with Absolute Wonder Woman. Born in Hell, one arm, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and then I read Superman, and I'm like, oh, Superman's the best one. This guy's essentially a terrorist for the people, right? Like, he just goes around breaking government shit on behalf of the people. You know what I mean? And his whole power base, it's the same power base, but it's different. Like, his cape talks to him. You know what I mean? It's like this AI cape that talks to him, and we just see his true form last issue, right, on the cover of issue B, with the true form with the fiery winged cape or what have you. And it's like, it began to flip-flop for me. And then I read Absolute Green Lantern, and I'm like, okay, you're just gonna kill John Stewart in the second issue? You're just gonna kill Hal Jordan? You're just killing Green Lanterns one by one across the first 3 issues. And I'm like, yo. Then you go back to Absolute Batman, and you speak about what Fable said and about what Dan said. And it's like, yo, what it is for me is these books are returning us to that time period when we first read a comic as a child and we were in awe, because they are so different from what we traditionally know to be Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green, any of these characters. They're so different. It's Batman in name. It's Superman in name. I mean, he killed a bunch of people.
I remember sitting on the show and basically saying, like, ranking the absolute titles of time were 3. And I'm like, okay, right now it's Wonder Woman and Batman, and then Superman's not even in the running, because it started off very slow in my mind. I was like, oh, it's picked up rapidly. I mean, it's so good now. And I'm struggling with, and this is going to be controversial, I don't want to make anybody mad, but I feel like, to me, now it's Absolute Wonder Woman still is the top to me. Now it's Superman, and Batman is at the bottom, which I know is rough because some people love
flip-flops, though.
Yeah, and that's fair. It's kind of moving.
I respect that.
It flip-flops because, you know, there was a time period I thought, you know, for a good 4-issue run, Superman was just better than the other 2. For like a real good 4-issue run, especially when, you know, we found out, you know, all the Brainiacs and the Council of Brainiacs, and Ra's al Ghul pops up, and it's like, oh shit, it's Ra's al Ghul in Superman. You know what I mean? And he's the major villain, and then Talia al Ghul's been like pretending to be his friend the whole time, and it's like, yo. And then it definitely flip-flopped. There's a couple issues of Wonder Woman that kind of snooze fest when she's fighting and she's underwater and she's fighting. I could pass on that. You know what I mean? Like I could pass, but then it picks right up. You know, Zatanna comes in and just fucks her mind, you know what I mean? Like straight fucks her mind, and then, you know, lets her go, and I'm waiting to see what happens with this.
May I pivot real quick on the titles, just an honorable mention of a title which isn't an absolute book? Can we just, if you haven't read the Trinity 6-issue run,
please read it.
I'm flabbergasted, and why do I bring this up, Caesar? I'm bringing this up because this book started out with Lizzie Prince chasing corgis.
He doesn't know who these people are. He doesn't know who Lizzie Prince is.
It's the daughter
of Wonder Woman.
Trinity is. The daughter of Wonder Woman, and she's chasing corgis around. I'm like, what the fuck? What? This kid is chasing dogs. By the 6th issue wrap up, you're like, wow. Like they put and everything on it. Like it's
Tom King's Wonder Woman is the best narrative in comics. Period.
I'll go watch it. I'll go read it.
What did you say, Ish? I missed it.
His Wonder Woman is the best narrative in comics. Period. It's just the best narrative.
Oh, I didn't mean to waylay the whole absolute conversation, but having just now wrapped up Trinity, and we're in that vein talking about Wonder Woman now, I'm like, shit, that was a good read. I'm definitely going to buy that in trade too, and I have all the issues.
Imagine reading a comic book where the story is narrated to the main character's daughter by the main character's enemy.
Yeah.
Like, it's brilliant. You know what I mean? It's really brilliant.
Yeah.
It sounds to me that violence basically sells. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're seeing a Batman who's more raw, who's more this, who's more that. We're seeing all these characters who are that, and it's basically dark,
He's more
gritty.
raw,
Is
but he's
what's
not as competent either. Like, he loses.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
what I guess what
Bane
I'm
just beat him senseless multiple times.
let me
There was a
rephrase
whole
that.
series where he was in the lab. He tried to escape. They beat him, put him back in. I mean,
Beat his ass and lobotomized him, and like
Let-
put all kind of
let
shit
me-
in his body.
Let me rephrase it. I think Peter might have said it, or someone. I think Alex said, we're finally getting the Batman that everybody wanted to see, and
yeah,
it seems to me that people like this because it's a Batman we haven't seen, and new is exciting. It's different. It's not, I kind of like the idea of back in the day when they did the New 52, where the Joker was Martha, or was it the other way around? Or
Can we put
that?
Can we put Caesar on the bottom? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I kind of always liked that
Did
concept.
you
That's
read the
kinda
New 52?
Oh, I read all 52 episodes. I mean, I read all
I tasted
52.
all 52 flavors.
I read all 52 flavors. No, but that's so. Bottom line, different grit.
I'm sitting here
Dark.
like, is this a cartoon or something? How does Caesar
it-
know about this? Like, was it?
and cool factor, I think, has a lot to do with it too. Like,
I
just
mean, he
his
has a big monster
design, got the
truck.
fucking spikes. He's got these like crazy tarantula cape, and Wonder Woman's got a big ass freaking Buster sword like Cloud from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, her sword is dope.
Yeah, like
a fucking
dead
horse, a
it's
dead
wild.
Pegasus. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm
flies
talking
around
about.
on a dead
It's
Pegasus.
like cool. You know what I'm saying? It's got this real sleek, cool factor to it too. That I think is really attracting newer readers, the FOMO people that just didn't get it in the beginning. They're catching on.
I just.
And what's
I
crazy
just,
though, when you say they're catching on, it's not even too late. Like,
No.
Absolute Batman 15 can sell. Everybody knew Joker was coming, and that thing is still crazy aftermarket right now. And everybody knew it was coming.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. For a guy who doesn't read, hearing you three geeks talk about this shit, it makes me kind of want to read it and go, all right, finally, I'm gonna see what's going on. Right.
And
read it.
artists too.
Why are you doing this? Is this a troll?
People giving a lot of
right, Dave.
love to Dragotta, but
David's right.
I think Hayden Sherman is putting in the best work of his career on Wonder Woman. Hayden Sherman is leveled up. I don't know if anybody's ever read Wanted from I think it was Vault Comics. Yeah.
No, Wanted was from Image.
No, Wanted was on Volt, I think. I'm almost 100% sure. Hayden Sherman.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds here.
But yeah, I mean, he leveled up on Wonder Woman majorly.
I thought Wanted was Image. I definitely could be wrong because I'm wrong often.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's good enough. I kind of want to talk about some other things as well.
You absolutely should read Absolute.
Top Cow.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I thought it was Image.
I tell you what. I might break down and get a 9.8.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Not Wanted. Wasted Space. That's the name of the book. Hayden Sherman was on Wasted Space. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Caesar.
No. I'm saying is that I might break down, and I mean, trust me, there's other books I want to get. I still got to get I'm saving up. I'm selling my right kidney to get Dan's book, but I think I could still get probably. I should probably get a 9.8 or wait and have it drop a little bit. I don't know.
I wouldn't wait. It's not going to drop anytime in the next couple of years.
Ooh, it's interesting. I should have picked it up when Ish was putting it out there back when he first put it out. Ish,
See, for $5. That's what I sold it for. 2 for $5.
That's why you should go watch the old Comic Sense when he does his shows every Tuesday at 5:00. Okay, let's talk about. There's a couple things I want to talk about. I want to talk about this crazy ass sale of Action Comics #1 for $15 million. Now, everybody was losing their shit when those brothers found that Superman #1 up in the attic, and it sold for $9 million for a 9.0. But an action now, let's really seriously wrap our let's wrap our mind around this. Say what you will about CGC and the grading companies and all that stuff. For a book to be from what's Action Comics 38 or 36? It's one of those, right? To have a comic book for the 1930s, something as popular as Action Comics #1, to come back at a 9.0. How? What? Is that somebody who just handed it a few times, put it away, and that's it? Now, granted, are people really buying it also on top of that premium that it comes from Nicolas Cage's private collection?
Yeah, I mean, to me, this doesn't feel as you talk about the book that the brothers found in their mom's attic and it sold for like $9 million or whatever. And by the way, it wasn't really $9 million; it was like $7 million. But then you put the Heritage 20% VIG on top of it, and now you got $9 million, whatever, right? Not shitting on it, but I'm saying that to me feels like a better story than this one that sold for $15 million, only because this book, you wonder if part of the reason why the money kind of got higher than people expected was because it was that whole lore around Nicolas Cage. Also, who bought it? It's undisclosed. You don't know. It's anonymous.
It wasn't a comic book person.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably some venture capitalist or some kind of hedge fund or somebody who wants to have that investment, right? And it doesn't feel as good to me. Like I don't know. I mean, great, 15 million, but whatever.
It feels good to me.
Why?
Because we're not talking about, and it's interesting, right? Because we're a part of this medium. We love this medium. We contribute to it. We support it, right? Financially, and emotionally. Obviously, we have debated about how certain books have impacted us in this very stream, right?
So Peter, he got his insurance money. That's why
we actually support it. So one of the things that you always have to consider when you talk about collectability, sometimes, and this is good for us, and I'm happy for it, because I always say the ceiling for value for a comic does not come from collectors. The highest ceiling comes from outside of the collector's market. It comes from when something that we collect or love becomes so mainstream that someone else considers it art or investment worthy and wants to spend money on it. And that, but it's not even speculation, right? So
if somebody spends more money because they're not familiar with it, they're outside of the hobby, then they're speculating. They're like, "Oh, this is valuable. This is rare. I'm going to get it."
But hold on. Let me just complete the thought, right? So when does something leave the market of collectability and become art, American art history, right? Like an Andy Warhol Campbell soup can, and this is what we're talking about when we're talking about Action Comics.
100%.
It's now in antiquity, right? It's now old enough to be close enough to be in antiquity. And secondly, we're now talking about American art history.
100%.
So that's the speculative value. It's not just that it's a comic. It's that this is actually a part of American art history.
American culture, period.
Pop culture history, art history. It's bigger now than I think the comic market. And that's good for us as comic collectors.
Now that value has taken that book, to your point, into like that American zeitgeist, right? Like where it's now, that's where it's going to sit. It's almost now unrelatable to the comic collecting community, right? Like that was a unicorn before. Now it's a super unicorn. Like
it's like a Picasso. It's like having an Andy Warhol. It's like having a, you know what I mean?
He did not, Peter. Right?
It's like one of those things now. You know what I mean? And that's good. That's good. That's something that we just did. You know, some of us, Caesar, for instance, used to give for 5 cents. You know what I mean? Back at the the local D&K or 5 and Dime. You know what I mean? That which no one ever expected.
Yeah.
Right. It's the Honus Wagner.
That was a 10-cent book.
I thought I read, because I was a little confused. I was a little confused how this book came about. I know it was stolen, but he eventually got it back.
No, he didn't get it back.
Insurance
gave him a payout.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, so how did the book? How?
Because they recovered it. I don't know if it's the same book. First of all, we don't know if it's the same book or if he had got another copy. We don't know. What we do know is that insurance paid him out, and then the book was recovered, and he wanted it back, and the insurance company would not give it back because they paid him out. They now owned it.
Right. I wonder how it got. I wonder if someone like they did a bust, and it's like, oh, this is the guy who stole his storage locker of all these Nicolas Cage books.
Yeah.
A relative of his took it off of his wall in his house.
Is that how it?
Yeah.
It was somebody he knew?
It was a relative of his who took it off of his wall in his house.
Was it raw? Was his already graded?
I don't know. I don't believe it was graded.
Yeah, I don't think it was graded either. So this is my question is, and I kind of wish we had somebody here who would know more about how it happened.
Preach, Peter.
What I mean is, the person who bought it for $15 million, was there an absolute bidding war and it ended at 15 million? Or did the guy just come out and say, fuck all of you, I'm bidding 15, try to beat that? And people are like, you could have it, right? I wonder if the 15 was the eBay, the max, the bid. I'm betting up to $15 million on it. Fight me.
Well,
was it like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 topped off, and nobody beat him on that?
Let me give you another thought too about art history and the impact when Peter says rising tides raise all boats. Have you ever seen the movie The Accountant with Ben Affleck?
Oh, I love that movie.
What book did he want?
Oh, that's a good question. That's like a trivia question.
He wanted an Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh, did he want to? Yeah, that's funny.
He didn't collect comics.
But he wanted it because he's an art collector.
Why did the writer write that? It's deeper than that, right? The writer wrote that. The person who wrote the script wrote that into the script because of the reverence for that book. Think about it.
You don't have to collect comic books to appreciate a piece of Americana or history like that. Like, so many people know who Spider-Man or Superman are without having read a comic book in their life. Like,
there's a copy of AF15 in the Smithsonian Institute.
Yeah.
Before CGC, the biggest known sale of AF15 went to John Candy and Wayne Gretzky. They don't collect comics.
Yeah.
They paid like $200,000, which was astronomical at the time for Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this. This is my thought. $15 million is cheap. I'm gonna be honest with you. $15 million
9-0 Action Comics
for yes, an Action Comics.
That investment is going to be investment at some point in time.
Yes,
it's going to quadruple. Is
100% a steal. When you see the money that these companies are wheeling and dealing for, like Netflix buying Paramount for untold billions of dollars.
They brought Warner.
You know what I mean?
What's interesting about that is what they did not buy was the Superman IP.
But
they didn't buy that IP or Wonder Woman or Batman.
The money they're slinging around, $15 million for the most iconic, historic superhero of all time.
It's $100.
He's the superhero.
It's insane. Like if I was a millionaire, 100 millionaire, if I was a Bezos or one of these guys, I would try to buy every freaking Action Comics I could get my hands on. Yep. $15 million? Come on, get out of here. That's a license to print money.
That Action Comics number one, just to clarify a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we didn't know the facts. I was kind of reading about it while we were talking. So Nicolas Cage bought that book in '96 for $150K. It was what Ish said. It was stolen off his wall. It was recovered, and he got it back. He did get his book back, and he sold that book at a Comic Connect auction for $2.2 million to a private buyer.
Wow!
So that book sold for $2.2 million from Cage, right? And now the private buyer and the private seller, we don't know who either one of them are. They brokered this deal for that. So Nicolas Cage didn't get screwed. And I know Peter was making comments like, well, did he get the payout? I think he got his book back, right?
You know what, though?
Here's something interesting to think about. J-Rob and I had a conversation once where we were trying to compare the most important IPs, pop culture IPs, in the world, period. And we came down to two: Superman and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And we couldn't come up with a third that was even close. Worldwide recognizability. We couldn't even come up with a close third. Like, nothing. Not even
I have someone. Popeye. People know Popeye.
People in Russia aren't wearing
I guarantee you Popeye
on their shirt.
I'm just saying.
I would put Spider-Man up there. I'd put Spider-Man up there.
With Mickey Mouse?
Not with Mickey Mouse.
And Superman?
Yeah, no, I would. I think everybody in the world knows who Spider-Man is.
But is Spider-Man as an IP as valuable as Mickey Mouse and Superman?
Well, nothing's as valuable as Mickey Mouse.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Right there.
I don't know.
I don't think Superman is close to Mickey Mouse either.
I think Superman's right there.
I think in recognizability he is, but as far as generation, like money, wealth generated from the character, nothing beats Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is
no argument.
King.
No argument.
King.
I just think Superman's in the conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
What? So $50 million as going base of what Fable's saying. It's a good deal. 10 years from now, it's a what? $30 million book, double in sales.
I think it's super undervalued right now. I thought it was undervalued when they said it sold for $3 million. I remember Superman 1 or one of those was sold for like $3 million. Everyone's like, $3 million. Can you freaking believe it? I'm like, I can't believe it because it should be way more expensive than that. That piece of history is only selling for $3 million.
And I love the way you that piece of history.
Yeah. It's like the Declaration of Independence. And I know that that's a more significant document, but it's still like, it's sacred text. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, like when you say it should be in the Smithsonian, it should absolutely be in a museum somewhere. And they should be trying to stockpile.
I'm sure they have one. I know they have the AF15.
Yeah.
It's interesting that 50.
Let's bring it back in a little bit though. I mean, a 9.0 Action Comics 1, is rare, but the Action Comics 1 isn't rare. People have varying degrees of that grade of that book. The Constitution is rare. There's only one.
No, for sure. But you know what I'm saying? Like nobody should touch that with their hands. It should be in a freaking like.
But is it worth Nicolas
Cage
breaking it out of the museum? I don't know. I mean, again, I think it's just because it's a 9.0 and it's very that for the age of that book. I mean, clearly it's a grail. It is a unicorn book, but I mean, like, I don't know.
I know that Cage had other books. The other thing is, I know that you're saying Ish it was taken down from his wall, or Dan, you're saying that, but he had a bunch of comics stolen from him. He had not just one. From what I understand, he had a bunch of comics stolen from him, and they were high dollar comics. I mean, what sucks is that Nicolas Cage is an actual comic book collector. He wasn't doing it because he likes it as a piece of history and all that. His name is Nick Cage that he took from Luke Cage, for fuck's sake. I mean, he took that last name Cage from that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where he got Nicolas Cage from. He got it from Luke Cage.
Yeah, he's a Coppola.
He's a Coppola. Yeah. It's interesting that this book, I think Peter said it's not going to go down in value. No one's going to say, "Oh, Action Comics recently got resold for womp womp $7 million. Went down in value." Hell to the no. That guy right now is dancing a jig. But my question is, like I said, if it was a private broker deal between just the seller and the buyer and no really in between, did he just straight up say, "Well, what number are you looking for?" And he's like, "I don't know, 15." And the guy's like, "Okay." And right after, he's like, "Shit, I should have asked for fucking 25."
Right.
Right. Because the guy's like, "Okay, I have no problem giving you 15."
That's what I'm saying. And don't underestimate, there's a lot of rich nerds now. A lot of rich nerds.
That's AI
underestimate.
Internet technology, and them being on the forefront of it. There's a lot of rich nerds. But that 15 million sets the bar, right? That's the value of a 9.0. I mean, how many 9.0s are there? 2?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's impressive. And the funny thing is, that guy should go and buy that Superman #1 for $10 million, $12 million, so he could have the Action Comics #1 and a Superman #1, both 9.0s for all you OCD people. Imagine having a 9.0 of an Action Comics one and a Superman #1, both 9.0. What are the odds? That's fucking nuts. That's crazy.
I think you should get it restored.
Shit.
I'm 100% serious.
I would crack it. I would crack it open and get it pressed and cleaned and go.
I think he should pay like $1 million
to get it 9.4
to the highest quality he can get it restored to. Why not?
People get
art restored. It's not like there's 10 9.0s. There's 2. You understand what I'm saying? And people get art restored. Listen, I don't see why not.
You remember? Do you remember that whole? You remember that painting? Do you remember that painting back in Spain in some cathedral? This was like years ago, and they hired somebody to restore it. And you remember this? And she made it look like some fucking cartoon. And I mean, SNL had a heyday on this shit.
Yeah,
I could see this dude buying this $15 million Action Comic 1, and it comes back looking like a Garfield.
Dan, it's gonna come back looking like that sketch of yours, that Remark. Yeah.
It's like Blue Falcon.
Yeah, it looks like a
comes back. Yeah, it comes back looking like Blue Falcon.
Oh my god! Sometimes you leave well enough alone. A 9.0 in an Action Comics 1 isn't going to go down in price. You're pretty good. I mean,
but from an art perspective, right? If you're looking at it from a comic perspective, yeah. But if you're looking at it from an art perspective, like it's not like I'm restoring a 1.5, right? We're talking about a 9.0, which is,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Don't touch
not too far from perfect from an art perspective. I don't think it devalues it at all.
I would be worried, honestly, if I own that book. And I mean, these guys with this kind of money, they don't worry about this shit. They don't care, like we do. But I would be more worried about sending that book to anybody to like restore it, fraud, even slabbing it. Like, is it going to be the book that comes back to me? Are they going to mess with? I mean, like,
yeah, but I would be worried about that. I got the type of money that can make things happen to you.
Yeah, for sure. That guy who bought that book probably
get away with it. Like, what you mean?
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: what is
$1 million at an Action Comics #1? I can throw a lot less to make something. Make sure you're gonna take care of my book.
So the next book, I would say, right? Obviously, the AF15. Obviously,
in my hood, $500 to get a lot done. Listen,
that's a dozen chalupas now.
Listen,
hey, my brother, can you fix up this book? How much? I'll give you $500. Fuck that. I'll redraw the whole thing for $500. Hey, let me ask you guys, what is the next book other than the AF15 and a 9.0? Let's say what's FF1 and a 9.0?
ASM 300.
I don't know that there's an FF1 and 9.0. I don't.
No. I'm saying what would be? Let's keep the 9.0 as that number out there. What would Tech 27, Peter? Yeah.
I mean, there was a 9.6 of AF15, right? Yeah. So for
Yeah.
almost 3.5 million.
Now that's a fucking steal, right? I mean, after looking at shit like this, but I think Peter might actually nailed it. I think the next book would be a Tech 27 in a 9.0. If you were to find a Tech 27 in a 9.0,
Marvel Comics #1. Because
Marvel
those
Comics
books
#1
used to trade the record. Action Comics, Tech, and Marvel Comics used to just flip flop for the record of highest sales just within the past 10 years until these high grades of things like Action Comics came out in AF15. But they would just flip flop between, one year Marvel Comics #1 would just go for highest at auction, and then next year it'd be an Action Comics or what have you. So like a Marvel Comics #1 in 9.0. Because of all the first appearances in there with Subby and Human Torch and so on and so forth.
What was the Action Comics that was sold? Was it slabbed or is there a raw 9.0, like estimated 9.0, or is it slabbed?
Of which one?
The one that just sold. That's a slab 9.0, right?
Oh, it's a slab 9.0. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it actually says from the collection of.
If they're smart, they'll take that book and they'll reholder it with PSA.
Is somebody gonna get put on the bottom at all this shit?
I mean, listen. The reason
that's a good segue to the next topic.
No. The reason why I didn't put Dan in the bottom is because I actually laughed at that one. That was all right.
But it's also a good segue to the next topic, right? Because
so the next topic, since we have a little
All-Star 8 in a 902, I would throw
the All-Star 8. You're right. All-Star 8 and 9.0, that will bring in a pretty penny. 100%.
Peter, though, he's talking about that timely cap. Oh my god, I would love that book.
Yeah, me too. So I want an All-Star 8. All-Star 8 and King Comics. All-Star 8 is my grail, followed by King Comics, first Popeye.
I would love Sensation Comics #1 if I could pick.
Over All-Star 8?
Yeah.
You take the Wonder Woman's first solo over her first appearance?
Yeah, I would.
Why is that? Out of curiosity.
I like the way the look.
Is it the cover?
Is that terrible? I was
going to say, is it the cover?
It's the cover.
It is a dope cover.
Interesting. My question, so as Dan said it's a good segue. So as we heard that PSA bought Beckett, so now they're basically gobbling up CBCS, and now it's going to be a two-way race between CGC and PSA. All those people who have CBCSs, hey, you had a nice run. What can I tell you? Now you're going to bow down.
They're just going to take them and let people send them in and get PSA.
Now you're going to bow down to the red and white.
Oh, the CBCS are going to be worth a lot more money now because they're going to be rare. It's like, no, that didn't happen with PGX. PGX isn't worth more money.
The PGX is garbage too.
Right? I'm just saying. I mean, like, man.
I got to tell you guys.
Will probably just take PSA. Will probably just take CBCS books and recase them. Probably give you a chance to send them in and just recase them.
I tell you what, though, that is a good point. I wonder if that is a good point. I wonder if that's going to be like, send us your CBCSs. We will recase it in this 4-pound case that's called PSA. Have you felt one of those, Fable? Have you?
This is way out of my realm.
I'll never feel one. I'll never feel one.
It is about this thick and about 12 pounds. Wow. I'm not kidding. I mean, you could drop it from a building. You know, back in the old days when you would your class would have those, create a parachute for your egg and throw it across to see if it doesn't break. Yeah, you could just toss that fucker from the Empire State Building. It'll just create a big crater on the floor because it is pretty impenetrable, but heavy as shit. So I wonder if CBCS is saying, yeah, we'll reholder it for you. But now you're going to have a wall of red and white.
It doesn't make sense that PSA, that whoever that was it Beckett that created PSA, like or whatever. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the reason why, the best they could hope, right, is to be the best grader of bronze, copper, modern. I mean, CGC dried up the market on silver. It got to the point where they had to do things to make more money because, like, most of it has been sent to CGC. And, you know, they had to stage private signings 5, 6, 7 times a year just to get more, to actually gain more revenue, because most of this stuff has already been sent to CGC and is already graded by CGC. So it's like, what's their market going to be? They're not going to have a PSA Action Comics.
Hey Dan, can you look up and see how much? Can you look to see how much they sold it? Yeah, I don't know if it's public knowledge.
All I see here is acquired Beckett in December 2025. Let me look. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Do you think though, like the people at CBCS are kicking themselves, going, "Fuck"? At the time, we had Borak at the helm. Newton rings were a thing at CGC. They were really having quality problems. We could have really grabbed the market had we done a couple of things, and now here we are, basically on borrowed time. I mean, I can't help but think that way. Like, they got to be looking at themselves going, God, we really screwed this one up.
I don't know that they ever had a chance, though, when you think about that, right? They were doing something really dope. They were verifying signatures, right? And people, while CBCS was verifying signatures, people couldn't wait for CGC to do the same thing so that they could get their books verified through CGC, through the CGC JSA service. And CBCS had already been doing it. And it's like, I don't.
Hey,
so many people are
no price is revealed.
Are loyal.
No price is revealed,
and they think that CGC has a standard, even when CGC fails to meet their own standards. They think that CGC just has this standard that is representative of what obviously reflected in the market, right? You take the same book in the same grade from CGC and CBCS, and you put it on eBay, and everyone is going to be 100 to at least 10% higher.
Yeah, but no, for sure. But there was a period of time, like 3 years ago, or maybe a little more, where people were literally like, "Screw CGC. I'm not sending
out of their mouth, but not out of their pocketbook."
No, they were doing it. They were like, "I'm not sending one more book." I mean, I know some. I don't want to name names, but I'm just saying, like, I know one person on the West Coast for a long time was basically on his Instagram, and he's got, I mean, hundreds of thousands of books, high value books. Just opened a shop, and for a long time he was not even using CGC. He's like, "Screw them. They've done me wrong too many times."
But did he use CBCS?
Religiously for a long time?
Yeah, he was a hardcore CBCS guy.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Sam?
I can't remember the name of the guy, but I remember he switched everything over for years.
That was just
years.
He bet on the wrong horse.
Wait. He switched.
He bet on a zebra.
Wait. He switched
in a horse race.
He swapped all his CGC to CBCS.
I don't think he swapped them. He stopped sending stuff. He was sending to both, and he's like, "Screw it, I'm sending all to CBCS."
Now he's got to pay all this money to send them to CGC.
I mean, look how long it took me to sell my. Look how long it took me to sell my CBCS books to get the same book in a CGC. I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah. What are we? So sorry, I joined late. I was stuck.
The selling of Beckett, and we're assuming that Edge kind of brought up that people who have CBCS books are just going to be able to have the opportunity to send them in and get them PSAs.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, because it's just, I mean, the company is doubling up at that point, But it's interesting to look
because
at the value.
They're taking in a wealth of books that are already graded.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to charge you what, maybe $15 for the recasing,
maybe,
but they're getting thousands of books that are already graded that are going to be posted all over social media.
Yeah, it's about getting the label out there more than anything.
Yep.
And getting.
It would make sense to do that.
PSA's got to fix their label, man. It is just.
They'll never change it, because they haven't changed their card ones, and it's just, that's what makes them them. It's ugly as hell, and it's bad, but
so bad.
So the interesting part, like, I'm in the card world quite a bit now, just in like Pokemon specifically, but Pokemon values for PSA, like a PSA 10 versus a CGC 10, you're looking at anywhere from 40 to 60% drops in price. And that's the...
Wait a minute, you're saying
PSA is better.
PSA is that much more, commands that much more in value for 10 than CGC does. So that's just, you know, brand recognition right there, but also strength of like the reselling aspect.
But what about toys?
Well, toys are AFA.
Well, CGC does some toys now too, and video games too.
Video games too, but you know, I mean, those markets are, in my mind, I don't think CGC is going to make a huge dent in those either.
They're not.
They're doing well. They're doing well in video games.
Video games, it's fine, you know. But I mean, what was
it's
that we went through for all those games ish? I can't even remember. VGA.
VGA. Yeah.
VGA. Like their prices are still. I mean, they're the standard for video games still. AFA, I don't think will ever be dethroned for toys ever.
No.
So PSA owns obviously they own the card market the same way CGC basically owns the lab market.
The card market, and the only other card grading company that is like, and it's I don't know if they're quote unquote competing, but there's a new company called Tag, and they use AI to grade their cards, and it is the prices at least of their 10s are pretty close to PSA right now. It's very interesting.
Okay,
how are they?
So do me a favor, Dan, the man, the research guy.
Yeah.
Find a PSA 10 and compare it to the value of a CGC 9.8 same book. Because there are there's a ton of PSA 10s out there right now.
I don't know if there's enough sales.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd even.
I just want to compare it to the listing value.
Well, if you go to eBay right now, was it GP or cover price that was going to start putting the PSA and the CGC?
No, I'm saying, Dan, because you're the research guy, just jump on eBay, search for PSA 10.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a needle in a haystack. Let me see what I can find. But I mean,
there are tons of PSA 10s out there right now. Like they're dropping PSA 10s.
I know, but I don't know if you can like find a book apples to apples and make that be your litmus test. You know what I mean?
No, I just want a comparison of what people are listing them at is all versus, you know, not the actual value, just what someone is listing a PSA 10 at.
Let me look.
Someone is listing.
I want to go. I want to ship out some of these Absolute Batman 1s to PSA. We'll get a PSA 10 and a CGC 9.8, and we'll see what happens.
So I need a run from you.
They're going crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm talking about for the sale.
They're going
nuts. Sale.
Look at
it's
not a whole run right there.
No, I'm saying not for me for the sale.
No, I know.
Because you want to sell one, so
I've got a stream going this week. We're going to see what happens.
Hey Sam, you have a Absolute 9.8?
I have, I think 2 9.8s right now with 12 or 13 going out. So we could talk. I got you.
We still traded for a run, right?
We got to figure it out. We got to figure out the trade.
I mean, you got to figure out.
I know.
Trade. You know what my shop is.
We'll be good. We can talk about it later.
So what Ish, what are you saying? You think that a PSA 10 in the same book is you just want to know if it's worth more or as equal as a 9.8?
I'm not talking about worth. I just want to know what people are because what happens is.
Well, here's a.
Well, hold on. What happens is
PSA sale.
The average person takes a CGC book, and then you see the same CBCS book in the same grade, and it's at least 10% higher by listing. What it's listed as. So I just kind of want to grasp how people see the value, not what its value is, but how people see it by the way they list it.
Well, here's an example of a sold auction. So I just checked eBay, sold listings for Wolverine Limited Series #1, 9.6 PSA, sold for $190.50 at auction on January 11th. And I'm pretty sure CGC 9.6s of the same book are probably around $275 to $300. I sold one probably in November for like $350.
I remember Key Collector was doing comparisons, but they don't have that tab anymore. But they did a whole, remember I sent it because we were going to talk about it. They had a tab where they were comparing CGC sales versus, I sent the whole list.
Yeah.
Versus PSA sales, and some PSA books were beating CGC books. For the most part, CGC books were beating PSA books, but some PSA books were beating CGCs.
It's a $250 to $280 in the sold for a 9.6 CGC. So, a little bit of a difference. I mean, that's one book as a litmus test, so you don't really know.
Not even a litmus test. I just kind of want to get a grasp of what people are.
I think the tough part is like none of us have seen enough books from them to see how the grading actually compares.
Yeah, I'm even going to AI. I'm trying to ask AI to do some. I'm trying to ask AI to do some rough comparisons, and it doesn't make sense what they're telling me. But they're looking at books like Uncanny X-Men 266 and Batman 423 and stuff like that, and I can't believe this data. It's telling me, for like an example, an Uncanny X-Men 266, a PSA 10 sold for $10K in 2025, and a 9.8 sold for about $2,200.
I mean, you know what I think
it doesn't make sense.
The potential
because it's not
for PSA
like at best a $30 raw book.
Well, I said this to a buddy when PSA.
Well, 266. I'm sorry, I'm thinking 166.
When PSA started their stuff, I said the money could come with very modern books, stuff that comes out on the newsstand this
That's
week.
what I said earlier. A
variant or just Amazing Spider-Man right off the rack, and you get PSA 10s. That's where I think they could eventually command a premium over CGC 9.8s, because you're not going to go back to earlier books and get a ton of PSA 10s.
You're not, because they're not even going to have the wealth of books to be able to grade them. But the thing about that is, Sam, there's an interesting conundrum there in that PSA might suffer from the CBCS curse, where someone might look at a PSA 10 and be like, I'd rather have a CGC 9.8. But that's going to come down to what it looks like after you grade it. True. You could look at a CBCS book, a 9.8, and be like, man, this is a 9.4.
I mean, I also think that PSA wasn't PSA grading comics wasn't created for us, people who have been buying slab comics for a while. I think PSA grading for comics is to get crossovers from the card world. Folks who have, during COVID and post-COVID have tried to figure out where else should I put my money? And a lot of them did put money into comics. Well, if they know PSA from, moving cards, why the heck wouldn't PSA grade comics?
PSA. Yeah, but I think the way PSA entered the comic arena, they didn't do it in the right way. I think, when PSA entered, CBCS wasn't for sale and they were okay, and CGC was the biggest guy on the block. PSA should have come in with some kind of advantage. They should have said, hey, look, we're cheaper, we're faster, our labels are better. They did nothing. They basically
remember that CBCS just got bought within the past.
No. I'm saying, but when PSA entered the arena, that wasn't a situation, and there was two what we perceived as viable competition. Now we see that's not the case. Obviously, now we have the benefit of hindsight. But
no, I got you there. What I was saying was,
saying PSA came in.
I don't think they care to, because they don't need it.
It's the second sale. CBCS had just gotten purchased within the past 5 years. And it's being sold again. Some buyers group with Jay-Z involved.
Yeah, it was like BlackRock or Blackstone.
BlackRock.
Yeah,
purchased CBCS.
Yeah.
Oh, so what about? But one of the things we haven't talked about. What about all those loyalists to CBCS? They're like, I don't like PSA slabs.
Well, then they're gonna have to switch to what's that other third company?
They're a minority though.
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure those people are like the ones. Let's just say before anyone bought anybody, and all those CBCS loyalists are like, they were on the bandwagon of those PSA labels are fucking ridiculous. Oh my gosh, they're hideous. And next thing you know, they just bought the company that I've been submitting all my books to.
CBCS loyalists. Caesar, you're one of the biggest names. So many people in the comic community. How many people do you know have a wall of CBCS slabs?
You know what? Believe it or not, there are people. There are people who can't stand CGC.
How many people do you know that have a wall when you walk in? You see that ugly bright yellow, that ugly blue, all over their wall.
I don't want to disclose names. You know what? It doesn't matter, because they're fucking out there. Maybe I might not know them. I mean, I know a lot of people, but Either way, they're going to lose customers. I'm just saying they're going to lose. They're just going to lose customers. I mean, they're just those people who are pretty universal. Like I'm not, those white and red labels. Get the fuck out of here! I'm not going to take my.
DGC used to have a white and red label.
For every one person that decides not to grade, they're going to get more people. Like there's more people entering this hobby right now every day, it seems.
That is true.
Can we compare prices?
Especially like with the
how much it costs to grade at PSA versus how much it costs to grade at CGC?
Well, CGC is rising prices too.
Yeah, they just went up.
Yeah, CGC just recently went up,
killing us.
Yeah,
there's a reason why. There's a reason why I don't do. See, I feel bad for the used.
It discourages me to submit at the volume that I was submitting at, or wanting to increase, because the benefit to doing some of the books that you would send in 100, 200, in a submission, it just starts to go away.
Can we put Peter at the bottom?
Yeah, sorry, Peter, but
that's my dude, but we got to put him at the bottom.
Yeah, but Peter is a purist, man. Peter doesn't grade his books.
Right. All right.
Not a single graded book in his collection. And you know what? I respect that, Peter.
Absolutely, but for you to think that the grading company is going to go away,
there's too much money in it to ever go away.
That's a piss stream. It's
never going to happen.
I mean, the can of worms was open, right? Comic books started getting graded. Obviously, coins have been graded and cards have been graded, and now it's video games, it's VHS
all that.
Tapes,
like,
VHS tapes, it's toys, it's soon it'll be postcards and autographed photos, and it's just going to keep going.
Look at VHS, right?
Yeah, VHS preservation is key.
You got to figure out what's the next thing to get graded.
And I know people hate graded books.
I would hate to grade a VHS.
One thing I learned,
that's got to be hell.
One thing I learned recently from this very podcast is when we talked about the dude from Finding Superman. We talked to him, and he said something that was very poignant, and that it was recognized that I really related to, because there was a time where I was against graded books too, and I don't grade everything, but nothing that I own actually belongs to me, right? I'm just holding it for someone else. Someone else is going to own everything that I own at some point. And if it's going to be my daughter, the best thing that I can do is take the books that I know have a value and will always have value and grade them, because she can always, and this guy said it, and it was like, wow, you're right. She can always go online and find its value. If it's raw, how does she grade a raw book? How does she compare value when she doesn't even understand grade? But you can always go find a 9.8.
I have a buddy of
comparable value.
I have a buddy of mine who was talking. We were having dinner, and I'll never forget this. He looked at my wife. He said, "Caesar's doing it smart. All his books are graded, all of them, except for a small short box of raws. If anything happens to him, it's out there, and it's all condensed, and it's all raw, and it's all graded. Where instead of like Dan has 400,000 comic books raw,
same
raw stuff, and same you, and he's like, God forbid anything happens to me, my poor wife is going to be left with all the shit, and she's going to be like, get rid of it.
Yeah,
and
if
she's
my daughter was to try and sell it, they're gonna lowball her because she has
100%
about grade. She doesn't
100%.
And what's this
100%.
value? What's this value in this grade or what have you? And when that guy said it, he was like, "Listen, the best thing you could do," because he went through it with his dad, and he was like, "The best thing you can do is take the ones that have the most value and grade them, because in that way, someone who's a layman can just go on eBay and look at a Hawk 181 6.0." and understand its comparable value. They know they have a 6.0. They can find another 6.0 and say, okay, this is what I can get for this, or I can at least get a partial of $6,000, right? I can get some percentage of that, but I know what the bar is. And it puts them in a much better position. So what I do is I could care less about the 100,000 comics I have. There's 1,000 that I put aside. They're separate, that I don't, baby girl, if something happens to me, take whatever you can get for this 100,000. But this 1,000 that I have set aside right here, graded, signed, or what have you, this is what you're gonna take, and whoever offers you whatever, you're not gonna get lowballed on. You understand what I'm saying? You're gonna take.
Oh, I understand. I told my daughter, I go, don't worry, if something happens to me, you're already going to be assigned somebody who knows comics, who's a friend of mine, who's going to make sure when your time happens, when you're ready to do what you want to do with it, he's going to be with you, and he's going to go, nope, you're not going to sell for that price. Nope. Oh, hey, an ASM 129, 5.5, I'll give you $300 for it. And someone's gonna be like, "Wow, $300?"
You guys keep
and he's gonna be like,
"You guys are saying when something happens to me." You're talking to these people like, "When something happens to me," you don't realize these are the people that's going to happen to you. They're going to be the ones that kill you because they're sick of you talking about your damn comic books to them.
like how you talk about manga to Caesar. Right? Like how you talk about manga to Caesar.
Yeah, right. Okay, guys, we're about the end of that show. I did want to talk about something real quick, just to appease the Dans of the world. Dan, so what did I read about? I didn't realize that these anime the Crunchyroll and all that are a lot of these anime are streamers are pirated.
I don't want to talk about this.
Well, there's a lot of I mean, with anything, right? There's a lot, but the problem is there's a lot of pirated sites for both anime and manga. To go for people to go and access and see, their different material. And Crunchyroll and these different sites are not going to be in the crackdown. They've already done it. I mean, that's really not new news. But
how are they cracking down?
More. They're really kind of pushing on the gas.
But how are they cracking down?
They're going to start finding these sites, cease and desist. They're going to do the legal route. I mean, and I'll tell you what, they got deep pockets. So when they go to a small-time server farm that's hosting a couple of translated mangas, it hurts. They stop fast, and this has happened before.
So, but I mean, for what's going to stop them from just going different
they can't
name
even combine the Funimation catalog that they own with the Crunchyroll catalog. I'm not so confident in their ability to crack down on. You know what I mean? Like, it's taking years for them to put. They own Funimation, which was their competition. And it's just taking years for them to just merge those two catalogs.
Well, I mean, Crunchyroll has its own problems right now. I mean, they're really shitting the bed on translations. Their turnarounds are poor. Even common titles now like Spy Family. Their translations were better, and I think now they were trying to use AI or something, and it was horrible. I mean, they've really had a lot of problems here. So I hope they get their act together. But it's the best that makes right now.
That makes sense. That's now I understand how you're able to learn the English that because you're fucking watching the translations of these anime cartoons.
It involves reading. He's actually reading.
Yeah.
No. But he's listening to the translation. He's like, oh, that's how he's.
I mean, you're listening to regular words, but if you're not listening to a dubbed version, then you're reading them in a subtitle version, right?
And they're all right. They're all completely off, right?
Well, they're all coming from Japan, Korea. I mean, something like that. So they're not going to be native English, right? So it requires somebody to intervene or something, either tech or people.
Another reason I'm not going to watch it.
The dubbing, the subtitles are generally pretty good, though. They're generally pretty.
Oh
good.
Yeah. I mean, you keep saying you're not going to watch it, but you like Blue Eye Samurai.
I do like Blue Eye Samurai.
I mean, it's kind of like that. I mean, there's a lot of titles like that.
AI is going to subtitle all that shit in the future anyway. So
AI is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. So bad.
Right now,
especially when it speaks.
They used to have 6 fingers on these guys when they used to do AI, and now I don't know if you've seen Sora 3. Holy!
Like if I hear another AI called Tupac or Nas. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The
RUNDMC. Like, what we do here?
No, but if
the
you
rap
think about
group, RUNDMC.
If you think about the advancement within the time it's existed, it's advanced at a sick rate. Like a sick rate. Yeah.
Every day.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's
every day.
It's scary. It's getting harder and harder for me to go like, because I really have to scrutinize whenever I see something like that's not no. Okay, I see a little bit of the glitch. Okay, got it. But before you're like, that's totally AI, right?
Yeah.
But one of these days, it's gonna be like it fooled Caesar.
Well, I mean, not only just the to fool you, right? Because that's what everybody thinks of, but just what it's generating. Like it's generating whole scenes where its cameras are panning down streets and going
Oh
around
yeah.
powers are coming out of people.
Are
Like,
you actually on or are you AI?
exactly. That's what I mean. I saw a video from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is that the guy, the cosmic guy or whatever? Yeah. He had a video talking about it, and in the introduction of his video, he was like, "Oh, we're going to talk about AI, and I got something to tell you. You're not talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm the AI or whatever." And I was like, he fooled me. He actually fooled me. And then he's like, it's actually me now, blah blah blah. And I was like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah, that's why all that's why actors are shitting their pants.
Listen, I'm gonna come off like this foil hat wearing freak, but listen, humans are amazing. We've invented amazing things, amazing breakthroughs. This is the tech that's going to tip it over. I hope we are happy with what we're doing here, because this is tech that is designed to render humans obsolete. So you're literally building technology not to make you more efficient, but to eliminate you. So good job, humanity.
I hope I retire. I hope I retire by then, so I don't have to worry about my job.
Right.
The way I see it, though, if you're not learning some of it,
you're
gonna be behind.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely good tools out there to help you like write things better or be more efficient or do calculations or solve health issues. I mean, those are great tools, but when it starts,
but you're right, Dad, because they have AI that's making AI. If that makes
right.
any sense.
You don't need to write code anymore. It's writing code.
Yeah, an AI that writes AI. Like it's
true. I just think, like, if there's a frontier, and it sounds a little pie in the sky, like if there's a frontier that hasn't been explored, it is this right now. Like, you have no clue where this is going to be in 10 years. So if you start learning about it, and if you start,
I know where it's going to be. I've seen Idiocracy.
If you start
watering our plants with Gatorade, I get it.
Yeah, but you know what? I think there's a space for folks like us who have the moral implications front of mind to start learning how to use it, how to, like, what is it actually capable of. There's so many different tools out there, and then
but not to get into a philosophical debate with you. You're right. A lot of us have a moral compass on this show, right?
Correct.
But we are governed by the wealthy, greedy overlords.
Oh no, I don't disagree with you in that.
So the problem is,
but if you don't start learning it, you're just going to be left behind.
Yeah, for sure. I get you.
The problem is you can't be so singular minded, and I don't mean this specifically about you, Dan. I'm speaking in a generalization here, where I think sometimes people have a closed mind about the view of the world, the history of Earth, the discovery of things in technology. And in all cases, right, we create something and we do something and doors close and then doors open. And while we're discounting, while we're accounting for what's being eliminated, we can't possibly know what needs will arise because of said new discovery or new thing. We can't possibly begin to understand where we might be needed. I often use this story, right? My favorite story to tell is, flight, right? And eventually the CPU, right? The central processing unit could not exist if all of these other discoveries didn't take place that were never intended to go towards the creation of the CPU, right? We needed transistor capacity. We needed the assembly line. We needed the engine. We needed all these things that were created for other things, right? In order to get to a point where we could create the CPU. Without any one of these other things, we don't have a CPU, right?
In spirit, you're so right. And all the technology that we built to this date has been designed to expand the frontier, to have us explore. Only now in these last 10, 15 years is this tech designing us to stay where we are, to keep us locked down, in place, not move, not be social, be controlled. It's different. It's different now.
But it was always different.
It was always different. The tech was designed to expand humanity.
Well, when I say that, right, it was always different. every generation who was on the precipice of something new that was designed or thought might replace a human, the assembly line replaced humans, but it needed humans. Right? The assembly line was designed to do that, but it needed humans. The CPU and the advent of the internet, all of these things had the same conversations behind them, right?
In 20 years, we're going to see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We're going to be living in pods, and these machines are going to come grab us and use us for energy. And
I mean, I know what Ish is saying, and I want to believe in his version of that. I want to say that we're heading into a new territory, but doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be eliminated, or we might find a new purpose. I want to believe in that, but I've seen these AI guys talk, the guys who actually make this stuff, and they're saying shit like, "Oh, you have no idea what the next stage in this shit is." Like I couldn't even explain it to you if I tried, but you know what I mean. It's to even those guys is scary. And that's what like kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I want to believe in Ish's ideal where it's like, well, you know, maybe it'll automate our life and maybe we'll expand where we should be expanding anyway, outside the planet or something, you know?
See, Golden Oldies, thank you so much for being here.
Love you guys.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah, this is such a topic, you know?
Yeah, you know, I will say one thing before we end this show. We have advanced to make things easier for man. We created the car so we don't ride buggies anymore, right? We created cogs and wheels so we don't have to use the manpower anymore. We've done things to make things easier for man. Oh, it's the same concept. AI will now write papers for us. AI now will watch A, B, and C. The problem is all it takes is one or two people to get really good at one thing. And they say, you're hired. Now we're going to fire 50 of these people because now we can have AI do 50 of these people's work. And you just make sure you manage it and maintain it. Okay, great. And then what's going to happen? All of a sudden, the one guy is going to come in and go, now you're really good at this, right? Now I want you to do what he did and eliminate his position.
Yeah, but
now we have down to one guy.
So you can't account for what you can't account for, right? So what you're talking about is elimination, but you're not able to account for what type of industries may open up that require these people. You said the car. The advent of the car, the advent of the car that made life easier opened up 1,000 different types of industries.
Absolutely.
Right? And the wheel is responsible for more deaths than anything we've ever created in the history of mankind. Period.
I'm just saying the only other aspect of that makes this a little scary is that it's making people who are growing into, Sam's kids, they're going to be growing into a world where, I hate to say it, they're going to be thinking less than what we have been thinking in our lives to try to get through the world. They're going to be thinking less of things because their stuff will be in touch of a button. It's like the Jetsons, where all of a sudden you press a button,
like the Jetsons.
You press the button, and all of a sudden the food materializes, in the little window.
I got a counter argument. When you say thinking less, why less and not different? And what I mean is, right, when I was a kid, when I was growing up, I remembered every phone number of everyone I ever called, right? In the internet era, it's not about how much you can store in your brain. It's about how much you can access.
Yeah, but
right?
Ish, again,
hold on. Which frees up, depending on how creative or the way people think, it frees up other pathways for people to do other things.
And Ish, I want to believe what you're saying. I'm telling you, I live in this world now where like we are implementing this stuff and I'm seeing what it's doing. And I'm just telling you, like, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's going to open up more opportunity, but the opportunities are not going to be where you're skilled labor and you get paid for the skilled labor. They're going to be minimum wage jobs. And I just read something today that says
maybe that's the way the world advances.
But I'm just telling you, right? I mean, this is this kind of jobs that are going to be opening. They're going to say, okay, you're going to be the maintainers. You're going to get paid maintainer money. And that's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to be the skilled money. And so for the first time, I just saw this today. For the first time ever, there is no state in the U.S. where people making minimum wage can afford a regular 2-bedroom apartment. You can't do it anymore. Those are the jobs that are going to be opening up for you now. So I don't mean to make this like the O'Reilly show on this podcast. I'm just telling you, like, human beings are making technology to render themselves obsolete. And I understand the assembly line, all these great advancements that we've done that have improved us. It was designed to increase capacity and expand our horizons. The tech we're building now is designed for margin. It's designed to increase your margin. Get rid of the people you have to pay and increase your margin. And that's
no. That's one function.
That's the function.
There's no, you don't think so? You got to read about the Kardashev scale. Just read it. Just go back and read the Kardashev scale. I just told you the name of it. Just go read it and read about advancement of civilization and the things that are required for its civilizations to actually advance to, especially the human
but to Sam's point,
to be able to advance to the level it needs to advance to.
Yeah, but Ish, to Sam's point, or to Sam's earlier point, which is really relevant, back when this stuff was developed, like that scale, people at least operated with some semblance of a moral compass. Now the soup du jour on everybody is greed.
But the Kardashev scale has nothing to do with moral compass.
No, I'm saying that. But when they
everything to do with civilization advancing, and right now we are a zero-class civilization. We still use fossil fuels, and we can't even harness the energy
of
the greatest battery that's sitting. Like, we have no idea even how to harness the energy.
We can harness it, but we're not doing it. I think we could do a better
that we can do right now is use solar energy to heat shit. Like the best we can do, and it's a battery.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I want to be hopeful, like Fable said. I want to be hopeful, but I'm practical, and I realize, like, I hate to shit on people because I love this community. I love people. I love chatting with people, but
look at my color.
Our say-do is kind of out of whack. We want to be good, but we don't do good actions.
I'm actually white. It's just I've been shit on since I was born. My skin is actually white. I'm kidding.
This one, and on that note, on that shitty note, I think it's about that time. Yeah, we're going to. This is about the time. This is about that time where we go around and people start saying where the fuck they're doing with their lives and where they're going to be next and how you can find them and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and let's start with the man who normally has the least to say, my little Habibi.
Yeah, one thing I will say is, again, I always have fun on the show. I do appreciate the fact that, like, this is, to me, what America should be. We don't have to agree, but we love each other and we respect the opinion and we move forward. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. So I love these guys. I learn something new every time I get on with these guys. Thank you guys for having me again. Fable, love seeing you. Ish, goes without saying. Sam, Caesar, no, I love you, Caesar. But I will say again, it was a good show. But when I'm not here, you can find me on Instagram at Tree City Comics, where I'm always writing about the books I'm reading. A new Comic Book Wednesday tomorrow. You'll see some of the books I'm reading. I write about them. Don't read it if you don't want to be spoiled. But I think that's really it right now. I don't really have a lot else going on. We got through our holiday exchange, and now it's just kind of getting to enjoy my hobby.
All right. Sounds good. How about you? All right. Sam, what do you got going on?
It's slow period right now, which is kind of nice. But I got to start ramping up here. On Friday night on Whatnot, I'll be running an absolute DC show, but I'll have Batman 1 through 15 first prints on there. $5 starts. So come hang out, have some fun, try and snatch up some good deals. The last stream we did right before the beginning of the year, Absolute Batman has just been on fire. It was a ton of fun. There were like 70 people in the stream.
Wow.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was a blast. So come check me out there, and then you can find me on Instagram at Comic Sam Collects. Haven't been posting much. I got to get back on that, but DMs are open to chat about comics, or if you're searching for anything specific, just hit me up.
Cool. Fable. My man.
One Collection Down on YouTube and Instagram. Pretty soon here we're gonna be kicking off Sci-Fi Fest, which is a all month long festival where we review science fiction movies.
Ooh.
And we're kicking off our first movie with Starship Troopers. So that's going to be a real fun time. That's the first Friday in February, 9 p.m. Eastern on One Collection Down. Guys, thanks for having me. It's always a blast hanging out with the menu, man.
Love you, Fable.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, that's it's always fun whenever you talk about movies. I mean, we do that once a month. Ish got a piece of that last week because Dan couldn't make it. So, well, as always, it's such a fun time to talk about certain things, and you never know. That's the whole thing about this show. You just never know what's going to end up. Honestly, look at that. We end up talking about AI and wasn't really part of the topic. But next week I have something in mind that we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna look for some guests. I already have some in mind to bring in. Other than that, of course, you can find me on Instagram, The Real Dracula's Wolf. Look up for my new reels that I'm working on for some new characters you guys haven't seen yet. Other than that, I guess that's it, people. Thank you so much.
Wait, you skipping Ish?
Huh? Oh shit!
I guess I'm just shocked.
Like what's happening?
You know what? I normally go last, and you're right. Shit.
Now
Yeah,
last.
Yo, shout out
You know
to
what?
Fable,
Go ahead.
though. I really love being dubbed the Menu Men. That is really dope. Really dope. I think it's gonna stick. I'm chopped liver today, I guess.
We're on the bottom.
You know what? I thought already. Yeah, I put you at the bottom. All right, go ahead. Man.
Listen, I am Issue X. I'm the Robin Hood of the Unfair Market, and I am that dude for real. You can check me out at Comic Sense on Instagram, on Facebook. Listen, I don't even want to talk about me. I want to talk about these people on this panel. Fire panel. This is one of the best shows of one of the best shows because this is Comedy Podcast is just a dope show. But this show was really dope. It was really good. It was really insightful. I really enjoyed it. It was a great show. Caesar kept everything on track. It just flowed. It was phenomenal. Shout out to Caesar. Shout out to Comedy Menu Podcast. Shout out to what he does. Shout out to Del Guzman. Make sure you're following him on Instagram. Make sure you're following them on Facebook. Make sure you go over to YouTube and you press play. You give it a thumbs up. Like, do something. He brings this content week in and week out for years without fail. He brings a panel of guests. We get Fable from One Collection Down on here. We get Comic Sam. Make sure you check out Comic Sam. Follow Fable on Instagram. I follow him. You're going to be enlightened. You're going to love the things that they post, the story. You're going to love it. Follow Dan on Instagram. He's very witty, very funny. Dan is one of the most honest and genuine people you can meet in this medium, and this is true fact. This is all facts. I'm not hyping this up. This is big facts. Comic Sam, you want to check him out on Whatnot? You really want to check him out on Whatnot? He has everything, and if he doesn't have it, he can find it. Yeah, man, this is a really dope podcast. I appreciate everyone here that tunes in every week. 15, 20, 10, whatever of you give us your time. And we want to give you the best value for your time because we really appreciate you. So shout out to you all.
Amen.
Sweet. All right. Well, everybody, have yourself a nice week. Be safe. Don't be a douche. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
Comic Menu Podcast is sponsored by Realistic Comic Books.